senses come alive.
And we're putting you in the driver's seat.
Feeling the need for speed?
Monster Energy NASCAR Cup racing returns to Watkins Glen.
This is where NASCAR's best earn their pay.
Get ready for the race, the fans,
The drivers.
the high-risk, high-reward action.
WENY presents the Williams Toyota of Elmira Thunder at the Glen. Brought to you in part by Tom's South Corning Collision, Horseheads Pick Apart, and Pearson Seamless Gutters. Now, let's go live to Watkins Glen International Speedway.
Hello and welcome to the 7th annual Thunder at the Glen special, coming to you live from Watkins Glen International, the famous road course here in the Finger Lakes region. We want to say thank you to all of our viewers joining us from the Twin Tiers, as well as those tuning in from Erie, Pennsylvania.
And I'm Griffin Haas. We are here to get you ready for NASCAR weekend. Go Bowling at the Glen race. It is tomorrow, Sunday at 3:18. Over the next hour, we are going to bring you some awesome stories of some of NASCAR's best. And we're also going to bring you some exclusive perspectives from here at the track.
That's right. We are going to take you bowling. Of course, this is the Go Bowling at the Glen.
It's only fitting.
That's right. And we're going to give you the full fan experience, as well as talk to people who come back here year after year and find out what makes this place so special.
But for now, Renata, the Zippo 200, it just wrapped up about an hour ago, and it was an absolute thriller. Austin Cedric took the checkered flag. He was able to battle out A.J. Allmendinger until the final moments. It is Cedric's first career Xfinity Series win. It was a thrilling watch. The two cars were nudging each other down to the final laps. Here is Cedric on that first career win.
And this is one of the great venues in NASCAR racing, and Moneyline's based out of New York City, so to be able to do this in their backyard in the Moneyline Ford Mustang, and to be able to get my first win at Watkins Glen with all these fans. It's Michael, who runs the track, told me it's another sold-out crowd for this weekend, so awesome to be able to put on a show for those fans and really be able to, put ourselves in a really good spot for coming into the playoffs.
Well, I don't know if you can hear those tracks going around. The track is active currently. That's the Monster Cup Energy Series drivers. They are currently qualifying for tomorrow's Go Bowling at the Glen race.
And Ryan Campbell is tracking the status of qualifying for us right now. So let's go to him live for a check-in on how things are looking right now. Ryan?
Thanks, guys. Well, qualifying has officially begun for the Monster Energy Cup Series, part of tomorrow's big Go Bowling at the Glen race up here at WGI. Qualifying started at 6:40, but we did just get away from a delay. There was a red flag as one of the cars here actually had some pretty heavy smoke billowing out of the front of it. So it broke down. We were under about a 10-15 minute delay before cars finally got back on the track. So I currently do not have any updates for you at this time, but as the rounds progress, there are multiple rounds part of this qualifying for the Go Bowling at the Glen race tomorrow. As those rounds progress, I will have more updates from you later on in the show. But for now, let's send it back to you guys.
And with the Monster Energy Cup Series Go Bowling at the Glen race tomorrow, it is at 3:18 on NBC Sports Network. Let's take a look for the schedule for that Sunday.
That's right. Now, the Midway, it's going to open at 8 a.m., and it'll stay open until 2 o'clock. The grandstands, they're going to be opening at noon, and they close an hour after the race ends. Now, driver introductions are going to start at 2:30, and the race time scheduled for 3:18 on NBC Sports Net. Now, we want to know what the weather is going to be looking like, Griffin. Right now here at the track, a little cloudy, sun starting to go down behind us, really comfortable weather, but for a look ahead at what it's going to be like for the Go Bowling at the Glen tomorrow, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Joe Veras.
Well, perfect weather conditions up here at WGI for qualifying here. Looking at quite a bit of sunshine, humidity on its way down, comfortable temperatures as well. If you take a look at current conditions at the track right now, again, no rain in sight, certainly good news there. Looking at temperatures slowly backing off through the 80s, 81 last check, 2 points running in the mid-60s, so comfortable humidity levels, still touch on the humid side, but again, not too shabby at all. As we take a look now at what's going on in terms of weather conditions over the next several hours for the rest of tonight, we will be tracking a cold front that'll be easing south out of Canada. Right now in Canada, we're looking at a few showers and thunderstorms, and can't completely rule out a shower. Rumble of thunder late overnight tonight, and as we go into early tomorrow. But big question is, what can we expect for the big race tomorrow. Go bowling at the Glen. Here's our planner looking at noontime. Temperatures in the mid-70s. Still a stray shower possible then, but as we press through the afternoon for tomorrow, looking for increasing amounts of sunshine, dry conditions. Race begins at 3 o'clock. Looking at temperatures by then, climbing into the mid-70s, eventually topping out in the mid-upper 70s. Could touch 80 here along trackside by late afternoon for tomorrow. So overall, looks like pretty nice conditions up here at WGI in terms of weather. Again, stray shower possible overnight tonight. We'll have another check of weather coming up in just a few minutes. For now, we'll send it back to you, Griffin.
Thanks, Joe. Well, in their previous race, the Cup Series drivers, they took on the Tricky Triangle at Pocono Raceway last Sunday, and what a day it was for Joe Gibbs Racing. Denny Hamlin was able to push his way to the win at the Gander RV 400, the leader of a 1-2-3 finish for Joe Gibbs Racing. Hamlin passed teammate Eric Jones on lap 144 as Jones placed second. Rounding out the top three was the winner at WGI 2 years ago, Martin Truex Jr. And with that, let's take a look at the Monster Energy Cup Series standings. The win moves Hamlin to fourth with 722 points, trailing leader Joey Logano, teammate Kyle Busch, and Kevin Harvick. Truex Jr. rounds out the top five. Another interesting note, seven-time Cup Series champ Jimmy Johnson, he's currently in danger of missing the playoffs for the first time since the format was implemented in 2004. He trails Ryan Newman by 12 points for that final 16th playoff spot, and he will have a new crew chief tomorrow in Cliff Daniels. Now for the drivers, the focus this weekend is come away with the checkered flag. But for one driver in the field, equally important is helping a special cause.
That's absolutely right. And Ryan Campbell caught up with Corey LaJoie to learn more about how he's making a difference.
Watkins Glen International is a favorite to a lot of NASCAR drivers when they compete here every year. Corey LaJoie is one of those drivers, but it's not just the racing that is exciting for him when him and his crew make their way to Watkins Glen.
We go to the state park and hang out, but man, the infield is so lively here at the Glen. You can even just take a walk around and be entertained for hours here.
And LaJoie is not only here to win a race, but to support a great cause that continues to grow called Samaritan's Feet.
Samaritan's Feet is just an organization that was created by Manny Ohom from Nigeria to try to bridge the gap of the 1.5 billion people in the world that are in need of shoes. That's the second leading cause of death just from footborne illnesses for people that don't have shoes to protect their feet. And I've been to several mission trips to where I have seen people walking around with plastic bottles on their feet or no shoes whatsoever. And it's the need there is beyond even something we could probably even scratch the surface of, but raising probably $100,000 by the end of the weekend is certainly putting a dent in it. If you donate between now and the time of the race, then you will get I will personally write your name on the card. Go to SamaritansFeet.org/enjoy and you can donate and get your name on the card and help support.
And I decided to do just that. I made my donation and added my name to the other 1,000 on his car for Sunday.
It's awesome that we've already raised $84,000 for the cause throughout just the writing name on the card. So it's crazy, and I'm glad to be able to do that here at Watkins Glen, and I'm glad the team allowed us to do that.
Reporting for Thunder at the Glen, I'm Ryan Campbell.
And we need to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be joined live by Watkins Glen International President Michael Printup.
And we'll also give you an exclusive look at what it's like to drive all the twists and turns of this famous road course led by Michael himself. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Live from Watkins Glen International, you're watching the Williams Toyota of Elmira Thunder at the Glen.
And welcome back to Thunder at the Glen. We are joined now live by Watkins Glen International, Michael Printup. Michael, it's a joy to have you on the show year after year. Hard to believe we are back here. It is NASCAR weekend. How do you feel?
Excited, waiting, expect the unexpected is our theme this year. This is awesome. Thanks for having me back. It's awesome to be here. We started planning this the Monday after last year, and it's amazing that we're already back here again.
Yeah, just talk about how all this comes together. People just see it this week, but like you said, the Monday after last year, it's just months and months and months, almost a year of planning this all to see it come together in this moment.
It really is, from marketing to media to the fans. I mean, tickets go on sale. You're doing all kinds of strategic planning. And all of a sudden, it's January, February, March, and you're selling, and you're corporate selling, and then bingo. And then you have our vice president takes care of the track. The grass is beautiful. The weeds are cut or gone. It's an unbelievable place, and everybody takes care of it very well.
And just talk about that last race. I mean, we got to talk about it. AJ Allmendinger, Austin Cedric, they were just trading off. It's what a race fan comes here to see.
Yeah, it's something I shouldn't tell the fans, so hopefully not all of them are listening, and I'm kidding. I always pick one driver when I'm shaking hands with everybody during driver intro, and Austin Cedric was my number one. Then I went to AJ, and I'm like, oh, dude, you got to do it. So I picked two. And who went head-to-head? AJ and Austin Cedric, and Austin picked it up.
Just how exciting was that for you to watch? I mean, it was back and forth, nudging each other. It's a race fan's dream.
I was downstairs screaming at the TV, probably like a lot of fans, and then the fans in the grandstand. But it's awesome when you see that kind of racing. That's what makes Watkins Glen the Glen. And I'm so happy and proud of the drivers. Austin is an awesome kid. I grew up with the Penske's, and his dad works for the Penske's, so I've known his father, Tim, for a long time, and congratulations to Austin.
And it's always cool when you can see somebody win their first race. So how awesome! I mean, we had Chase last year winning his first race. What is that like to see somebody? That's going to be a memory for them forever that they won their first race here at the Glen.
Here at the Glen. And then we had a first winner Friday night, too. So, we're making records this weekend, so who knows what's going to happen tomorrow.
Well, what is going to happen tomorrow? What do you think?
Well, I'm going to pick two people.
Okay.
Bubba Wallace and Danny Suarez.
Well, you picked two in the Zippo, and look what happened. So you're telling me that Danny Suarez and Bubba Wallace are going to be going head-to-head down the stretch?
I'm thinking.
That's what it looks
like. Bump, grind, pull it out.
All right. Well, Michael, I want to talk about what the fans can look forward to tomorrow. They're going to get a great race, but what else is it? This is a whole experience.
It really is. It always has been. The camping experience is huge. I mean, look at our crowd today. I mean, we got an awesome crowd. It's a camping crowd, and it's all that little fun. But, it's the racing excitement. It's the fan display. It's pre-race. It's all that fun stuff. The fans get to do it all.
Well, speaking of the experience and fun stuff, we had fun and we had an experience earlier this week going around the track on Monday. Let's take a look. What's going on, guys? Here at Watkins Glen International with WGI President Michael Printup. Michael, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
He's going to take us around the track, give you an inside look at what it's like to ride this road course. What do you say, Michael? You
ready to burn some rubber?
Let's do it.
Let's go. I'm on the track with TV. I'll be out there a little while in the pace car.
All right, well, here we go. Around the track here at WGI, starting off right in the S's. One of the most notable parts of this track is this elevation change. So talk about that and how that makes this so unique.
It's when you're up to speed, so we'll get up to speed on the second lap, of course. We'll do a recon lap first, but this is a famous turn, the S's. It's known worldwide because of Formula One and NASCAR. And you're coming up there in NASCAR at 160, 170 miles an hour, and it's blind coming up over that hill. We're just barely doing 80 climbing up that thing, and it's still a lot of fun. But here, pedal to the metal, 190, 195 miles an hour. You notice the brake markers. I don't know where they'll start braking. I know where I'll brake, but I'll brake around 100, and I can't hit the paint because we just spent a fortune repainting it. Otherwise we'd be going over that. The carousel, another famous corner, and at Watkins Glen International, when they're running around this thing just flying, that's a controlled turn at just under 60, and they're doing 90, 115 around there, depending. Always one of my favorite turns because it's a high-speed turn. You got a lot of runoff if you make a mistake. We won't make a mistake.
No mistakes
here.
No mistakes here.
It's just a lot of fun to get on and drive this racetrack. I get a kick out of it every year. I come up sometimes and goof off at night.
Those are the benefits of being the president.
Yeah. Could you imagine coming down here in front of 30,000 fans right here, just screaming?
And here on Sunday, it'll be ramped up.
The other thing about this racetrack is the runoff. Yes. And I'm going to run it off just to show you. You mess up, and you can see the brakes, and it's calculated where they almost stop. Very few, if you look, few hit the barrier.
No. You want to avoid that.
You want to avoid that. Runoff. And what's nice about it is you got this tire pack, and then you've got another 15, 20 feet before you hit the Armco.
All right, well, there you have it, an inside look with the president himself, Michael Brennan. Michael, thank you so much again for joining us. We're going to have more Thunder at the Glen after the break.
Live from Watkins Glen International, you're watching the Williams Toyota of Elmira Thunder at the Glen.
And welcome back now, Griffin, Watkins Glen International. This is a track where anything can happen and anyone can take the checkered flag.
Absolutely. It even presents the opportunity for drivers to win their first race, as Austin Cedric just did, and that's also what happened last year with Chase Elliott. Now, Chase Elliott drove the number 9 car to victory, his first ever Cup Series win. Since last year's Gold Bowling, Elliott has won 3 races, 2 last year at Dover and Kansas, and 1 this year at Talladega. And while Elliott is glad to be back where he first won his first race, he knows he wants to win it again, but it will only come down to one thing, and that is speed. Now, WENY's Brandon Menard, he caught up with a bunch of drivers earlier today, including Ryan Newman. So let's go over to WENY correspondent Brandon Menard and Ryan Newman.
Hi, I'm Brandon Menard. I'm here with Ryan Newman. Ryan, thanks for joining us today.
You joined me.
Well, thank you for allowing me to join you.
You're welcome.
So, Ryan, what's your favorite part about coming to Watkins Glen every year?
Well, I enjoy the area. I enjoy the beauty of the outdoors. I like road course racing. Never won here, been second. So I guess the opportunity to win is what keeps me coming back.
Now, do you think that you have a car capable enough to get it done on Sunday?
We've got the Acronis Ford this weekend, and I feel like our first practice didn't go very well. We got a lot of work to do, but still a lot of time. And you never know what the way strategy and fuel mileage and track position and everything works here. You know, we can make our race car better, and we'll make our race car better, but I don't know how much we can gain on those other guys, so we'll see.
Now, you guys are on the playoff bubble. Do you think that this weekend will be the weekend to kind of like push the envelope, kind of get yourself a win here and put yourself in the playoffs?
You never know. I mean, I've crashed here and I've run well here, so that's why we all show up, is to see if we know or if we think, and then we find out and we go on to the next one.
Awesome, Ryan. Thank you so much, and throwing it back to you guys.
And now, Griffin, this is the Go Bowling at the Glen this year, and bowling, a big part of the activities happening up here at WGI, and it's not every day you can actually face off against a professional bowler and maybe pick up a couple of tips at the same time.
But Chris Johnson and Olivia Jaquith, they did just that. They met up with PBA bowler Kyle Troupe. He's got a unique style, and they talked about his love for the game as well.
Not 1, not 2, not 3. Rolling strikes is nothing new to PBA bowler Kyle Troupe. At the age of 3, Kyle first picked up a bowling ball.
I mean, I've dedicated my life to this. I've been, just bowling for a living now for 3 years, and the work that I've put in just the last 3 years alone to try and take the step to the elite level in this sport. Because just like in any professional sport, these guys are putting in work every day, 365 days a year. And I'm doing the same. I'm really learning the last year. It's a lot of hard work, but I'm noticing hard work paying off, and it feels good.
Kyle isn't the only one noticing his hard work paying off. His fans are eager to catch him in action. As the 2019 representative for Go Bowling at the Glen, he says NASCAR Weekend at WGI is a great platform for the PBA.
What Go Bowling and NASCAR has right here with the partnership and the sponsorship, it's really great because both sports really bring a common connection between family and friends, and it really gives us a chance to bring top-of-mind awareness to bowling because we just really want everyone to go bowling, have fun, and enjoy the race as well.
One thing to note about Kyle is that he definitely has fun, especially when it comes to his fashion choices. His Afro-style hair and his funky bright-colored dress choices make him a fan favorite. His father, Guppy Troupe, was a professional bowler in the 80s, teaching Kyle the game and essentially kickstarting his career.
I'd say I learned a few things from him, including my style. He brought the wild clothes into bowling as well, and I definitely have to credit him to a lot of my bowling success.
The two-handed roll you see here is the result of Kyle rolling with his father's bowling balls that were too heavy for him as a child. Growing up, he got into the habit of bowling with 2 hands. Some might even say perfecting it.
It's the new revolution of the sport. A lot of the younger kids, they can see more movement of the ball, more hook with 2 hands, whereas because I can barely bowl one-handed myself. So it's a little easier for some. We create more power on the lanes, and a lot of two-handers are winning on the PBA Tour, so people think it's cool.
So cool, Olivia and I decided to give it a shot. Although we're not on the same level as Kyle, he showed us some techniques to help us improve our game and knock down more pins.
I might spare it.
One of the things we learned, it's not always about how you release the ball. The oil on the lanes can play a factor too. Wiping down your ball after each roll allows the bowler to keep dirt and oil from sticking to it, making for a smoother roll. You can bowl with Kyle all weekend long here at WGI and learn some of the same tips that we did and see how you fare against a professional. You might even get a free pick. For Thunder at the Glen, I'm Chris Johnson.
Oh, wait, yeah.
And we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back to Thunder at the Glen, we're going to bring you the story about an Xfinity Series driver partnering with a local brewery for this year's Zippo 200.
And plus, qualifying is still going on. We have the first times they are in. We are going to check in with WENY's Ryan Campbell for an update. We'll have more Thunder at the Glen after the break.
Live from Watkins Glen International, you're watching the Williams Toyota of Elmira Thunder at the Glen.
And welcome back to Thunder at the Glen. Well, Renata, usually when it comes to sponsoring NASCAR teams, you think of big name corporations, fast foods, banks, and retail corporations.
That's right, but for one race car in today's Xfinity Series Zippo 200, a driver actually partnered with a local craft brewery for a unique sponsorship. Let's take a look. When NASCAR Xfinity driver Stanton Barrett navigates the twists and turns at Watkins Glen International, the number 42 Toyota Camry is decked out, and the name local craft beer fans will recognize and may also pique the interest of others. Horseheads Brewing sponsored Barrett's car for the Zippo 200. For Barrett, who also owns his own winery, the partnership makes sense.
Yeah, it's great to have Watkins Glen in general in this area, the Finger Lakes area, they're very supportive of each other. And, restaurants have farmers stuff, and they use local breweries and winemakers for the most part. So, it's important too for smaller communities to support each other. So it's fun to see that they were interested in being a part of the race team here.
I think it's awesome. There's a ton of people that go to NASCAR races anywhere in the country. And what's great about the Xfinity Series, with it kind of being a feeder series to the Monster Energy Cup Series, it gives an opportunity for a lot of small businesses all over the country to promote themselves on cars.
For the team at Horseheads Brewing, they're hopeful local race fans will recognize the name, but also draw attention to the explosion of the craft beer industry across the country.
It's an exciting time. We're all ready to go here and really want to open the doors up soon. And I think doing the sponsorship this weekend, it's gonna show a lot of people that it's gonna introduce a lot of people to where we are. Maybe it's some that haven't heard that we're reopening. It's good for that too. And I think it's gonna be a fun time here in the next few weeks.
Now, we want to note that Horseheads Brewing does have the same owners as WENY TV, but the brewery really getting ready to open their doors any day now. Their final preparations are underway. They are very excited to open their doors back to the community in the next couple of weeks. Actually, I had a chance to get inside the brewery earlier this week while working on this story. It looks absolutely amazing in there, and we are very excited to be opening doors soon.
All right, well, qualifying is still underway. Times are rolling in. Let's check in with WENY's Ryan Campbell for an update. Ryan?
All right, guys, well, thank you again. Well, now I'm down in pit lane now, and I have an update for you. We are in round 2 of the qualifying session here for the Monster Energy Cup Series. Now, there are 2 rounds to this qualifying round, and we only have 12 drivers. So a bunch of drivers get eliminated from round 1 that didn't have the best times. The top 12 drivers move to round 2, and Chase Elliott has just been flying around this course. He currently owns the top lap time, and currently they had just announced for the top time in this qualifying session, it is down to Chase Elliott, Kurt Busch, and Michael McDowell. So down to 3 drivers left to see who gets that top spot, gets the pole. So we will have to see what happens. But some of your other drivers that did make the top 12 that you should take note of here, Brad Keselowski, Ulrich Almirola, Denny Hamlin, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., they all made that second round, so they all made the top 12. But once again, back down to those 3 drivers here for that top spot. But let's send it back to you guys. We'll see what happens.
Live from Watkins Glen International, you're watching the Williams Toyota of Elmira Thunder at the Glen.
have been enjoying racing here at Watkins Glen International for decades, but it always hasn't happened up here at the racetrack. The tradition actually started as a road course in town. Our very own Nicholas Phillips gives us a look back in history.
It is, today, the most famous road racing course in America.
Over 100,000 people drive into the town of Dix. They're all here for the first weekend in August. Spectators ready to hear the sounds of revving engines, but few know WGI's history, like J.C. Arkenzinger.
My father, who had an MG who had come back from World War II, wanted a place to race, and he had read about the great European races.
He drove around here and he looked at the topography of the land and said, this would be an ideal place for a European-type road race.
The first checkered flag waved on October 2nd, 1948. It was a road course, starting at the Schuyler County Courthouse. Driver Frank Griswold won the race.
52 was the biggest crowd they ever had in the street races. A 7-year-old boy died and 12 injured.
The death almost put racing at Watkins Glen to a halt. A bill outlawing street racing passed the state Senate, but
our Assemblyman Jerry Black tied that baby up. Never was a law.
Still, alternative routes needed to be taken, so J.C.'s father Cameron and others were on the move to find a new location.
The winner of 52 and 53 picked 2 of them, and one ran through the state forest over near Sugar Hill, 7.2 mile course, and the environmental conservation, oh gee, are they going to set fire to the woods?
International Motor Racing Research Center archivist Bill Green says ultimately they settled in Dix.
At first it was pretty primitive and people would camp out. They were just porta-johns and that sort of thing. And over the years, as the money came in, they constantly put it back into the track.
The final rebuild of the track came in 1971. 2 circuits were done, new pits and a new garage were greenlit. This year will mark over 7 decades of racing at the Glen. For Thunder at the Glen, I'm Nicholas Phillips.
Yeah, and that rich and vibrant history here at WGI is really contributing to what keeps people coming back here year after year.
And Isabel Garcia is joining us now. And Isabel, you talk to fans throughout the midway here about what keeps them coming back and the entire experience at WGI.
Yes, truly. And really this first week of August, when you take into account all of the experiences and just everything here, the first week of August really transforms WGI and the entire region really into a destination location.
Each year during the first week of August, all eyes turn to Watkins Glen International. NASCAR may be the main event, but it draws attention to so much more.
The area is beautiful, you know, just coming down along the lake there. It's a great lake to watch when you're driving in, and, you know, the hills and all that, and just a really beautiful area to come to.
From waterfalls to wineries, visitors say there's endless options, no matter your age or style.
We went into town, you know, enjoyed the sights and all that in town. Went and saw the Amish. You know, got some corn and some good stuff from the Amish, and now just going to hang out the rest of the weekend at the track and have a good time.
Well, a long time ago, we used to go down into town and, you know, hit the local bars and do the gorge. Now that we're older, we tend to stay right at our campsite on the back way there and just enjoy our friends and hang out.
Fans also say they appreciate unique opportunities to closely connect to their favorite sport.
Oh, the driver's super personable. I mean, we just met Ross Chastain. He's about to win the truck championship. So, I mean, it's great the drivers come out and they love it just as much as we do.
We could get up close and personal. Our scaffolding is right there, so we can take awesome shots, sometimes better than they can get on TV. So, and the flyover, it's like you're in it.
When it comes to racing, however, WGI truly stands out.
Well, usually when it's go time for the racing, I've had a few beers in me, so that's what really makes it a good time. But yeah, seeing a lot of action, you know, you can feel the cars kind of shake your body when they go by, especially on the starts and restarts on the front stretch there. So it's a lot of fun.
We turn right, not just left turns. We still go fast, but we also turn right.
It's a road course. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen. You know, it gets crazy out there.
Road course. I think road courses. NASCAR needs more road courses because it makes it more exciting. I think they need to come here twice a year.
And Isabel, I was with you when we were walking the whole grounds here, and you meet some awesome people who just want to come up and talk to you, and I think that's a big reason about why people keep coming back here to WGI.
Absolutely, and that really seemed to be the theme too. Of course, you have all of the events and the racing and all of the standard events as well, but it really was the people and just the entire experience overall.
Absolutely. Thank you, Isabel.
Of course.
Thank you, Isabel. When it comes to the experience, well, that's what we're going to explore next. We're going to take you out on the midway, around the track, and tell you all there is for the fans to take advantage of. We'll be right back with Thunder at the Glen.
Live from Watkins Glen International, you're watching the Williams Toyota of Elmira Thunder at the Glen.
And welcome back to Thunder at the Glen. We are joined now by Michael McDowell. Michael, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. We just got wrapped up with qualifying here. It's an intense few laps.
Yeah.
You try to get absolutely as much as you can out of the race car. Perfect conditions right now at Watkins Glen. Sun's going down, cool. Track temps are down. It was a lot of fun out there.
And you came in at 11th. How do you feel about where you are going into tomorrow?
That was a gain for us from practice. You always want more. You want to be sitting first and on the pole, but it's a good run for us in our Long John Silver Ford Mustang. Anytime you can make it into that second round, which is the top 12, it feels like a pretty good day. But like I said, you always want more.
And because this track is so different from anything else that is really on the circuit, what is it like coming here and hitting this road course? What is it like for you? Do you enjoy it? What are the challenges? What is it like?
This was one of my favorite races to come to. Sonoma is a road course, but it's like a short track. It's tight, it's twisty, it's technical. Watkins Glen's very fast, sweeping, high speeds, elevation changes. It's very challenging. It's very daunting, but you got to attack it, and that's what I enjoy about it.
It seems like you either like it or you don't here. You either have a hard time or you have a fun time. So thank you so much for joining us, Michael. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Thank you, Michael.
Yep.
All right, and we want to get another check of the weather, so we're going to send it down to Chief Meteorologist Joe Veras.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Yeah, another time. Take a look at the weather forecast now, and again, we've been kind of dodging a bullet as we've gone through the day today. A couple showers popping up this afternoon here and there. A lot of the region, though, at least here in the Finger Lakes area, staying dry. Here's a wide look satellite radar map, and what we are tracking, though, for later tonight is a cold front that's currently just north of Lake Ontario. That's going to be settling south as we go through the overnight period and into tomorrow morning. It's going to lose a lot of its moisture as it continues to push off towards the south, but that could bring a stray shower to the area late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Good news is that'll clear the area by mid-morning, and as we head through the afternoon, conditions will improve. So our hour-by-hour forecast as we go through the day tomorrow looking like this. We'll start out at 10 a.m., about 78 degrees. So again, temperature is very pleasant as well. Humidity on its way down as we head into the afternoon hours. By lunchtime, 79 degrees. Picture perfect, really, as far as temperatures go for this time of year. By 3 o'clock, the start of Go Bowling at the Glen race, we'll be looking at 78 degrees with just a mix of sun and clouds, more sunshine beyond that as we head into the early evening. Temperatures only slowly dropping back out of the 70s and eventually into the upper 60s by tomorrow evening. That's the latest look at the latest forecast from Watkins Glen International. More Thunder at the Glen coming up right after the break.
Live from Watkins Glen International, you're watching the Williams Toyota of Elmira Thunder at the Glen.
Now, of course, the races are the main attraction here at WGI for the weekend, but there's a lot of time in between races. People are coming up for the whole weekend. They want to enjoy themselves, and boy, are there plenty of fun activities to do here.
There are so many fun things to do. Christina Episcopo found that out. Here's all the fun things to do at the track.
Here at Watkins Glen International, there are so many activities that you can do while you're waiting for those big races to get started. Let's go check them out.
Oh yeah.
You can head over to the Go Bowling tent, get a chance to meet a PBA Tour champion, and even test your luck on the lanes. You can even head over to the Zippo tent with some friends and try your shot at some cornhole. You can even head over to the Ford Performance Center where you can sit in a real NASCAR and check out the other ones in the lot. If you're looking for some gear to commemorate the big race weekend, or you're just in need of some extra souvenirs, you can head right over here to these trailers where there's t-shirts, hats, water bottles, anything that a fan could ever need. You can head over to the Geico tent and learn how to be a pit crew member and even take a chance to be in the pit crew. And And this weekend is bringing a lot of hot weather with it, so if you do get parched or hungry, there's plenty of vendors right on the side of the road where you can get a nice, refreshing lemonade. There's activities for the whole family this weekend, so make sure you join us on Sunday for the big race here at WGI.
And Thunder at the Glen will continue after the break. We'll be right back.
Live from Watkins Glen International, you're watching the Williams Toyota of Elmira Thunder at the Glen.
And welcome back to Thunder at the Glen. Now, we gave you a look at all the activities there is for fans to do, walked you through the fan experience here at WGI. But a lot of people, a lot of families bring their kids here, and it's a really experience the whole family can enjoy.
Yes, Sierra Wright is going to bring you more of those family options and tell you all they can do to enjoy their time at the track.
WGI is known for the parties and celebration, but it's also a family-friendly atmosphere where families come and create lasting memories. Let's see if I can get this. All right.
The Kids Zone is an area sponsored by Cayuga Health System. It's a place for all kids to come to enjoy the track just as much as their parents.
We have inflatables. We have the New York State Fire Protection Specialists here with an interactive fire truck where kids get to learn about fire safety within their own homes. We're going to have a movie night tonight. We're showing Cars where kids will get water and popcorn. I think it's so important to make this Watkins Glen is a family time, and you're not going to forget your memories with your parents of spending here. And what better way than to also have fun of playing with your parents. I've seen parents and kids playing with the whack-a-moles over there, and then the football and the soccer, and it's just how better to build memories than to be at an event like this.
A family who's been returning to the track for 13 years now says they are extremely grateful for the Kids Zone and come back every year.
Because there's so much stuff for us to do here that they're constantly walking around saying, what can we do, what can we do? So when we get to bring them here, they look forward to it. They wake up every morning asking if they can come back to the Kids Zone. So here we are already at 10 a.m.
And now, Sierra, the families that bring their kids here, these kids are really the next generation of NASCAR fans. So what was it like getting to see them enjoying themselves?
Renata, it was great today at the Kids Fun Zone. I mean, there was so much going on. Parents were having a great time with their kids, games, anything you could think of. And actually tonight they're having a movie night as of now. So they are just trying to keep the kids entertained while their parents are trying to enjoy their time at the track. So I think it's a great way to keep everyone involved and having fun.
Awesome. Thank you, Sierra. Well, we can't forget about the campers. We go from the families to the campers. Some race fans arrived on Wednesday at 7 a.m. They're here waiting for Sunday's big race.
And they are certainly not here roughing it by any means. Ashley Cafaro went and explored the campground earlier this week, and really some of these campers, they are going all out for their time at WGI.
Campers here at Watkins Glen have everything from standard camping gear to cornhole to bars to even bowling.
And that's exactly what these three ladies have set up at their camping site, an actual bowling alley.
We really go all out. We really enjoy it. This is like, we think about it, we plan, and we do everything to do this. This is our weekend. This is NASCAR. We're girls who like racing.
And they sure do go all out. Outside their camper, the ladies have not only a bowling alley set up, but bowling shoes, trophies for anyone who gets a strike, and their own personal bar. And this isn't the first year these ladies have gone above and beyond when it comes to their camping setup. For the past 10 years, they've had a different theme, even winning the Geico Award last year for the best campsite.
It's all about getting ready for Watkins Glen. It's like, this is our girls' weekend, and we work hard at making it fun.
Campsite. Other camping grounds have their own bars set up right outside their RVs, which they tell us has now become a long-standing tradition.
I had some friends up here, and it became a competition to see who had the best bar, and they all just bowed to me and said, okay, you beat us.
We got sites all over the place. There's probably, 15, 20 of us here? Probably maybe more than that. And all from the same area, and we congregate over here at night and just sit around, tell lies, and have some pops.
For Thunder at the Glen, I'm Ashley Gaffaro.
Qualifying is done. Ryan will tell you who's on the pole. The more Thunder at the Glen is coming up next.
Live from Watkins Glen International, you're watching the Williams Toyota of Elmira Thunder at the Glen.
All right, guys, and welcome back to Thunder at the Glen. Literally right after I updated you on the qualifying round, they announced that Chase Elliott has won the pole. He had the fastest time, ended up hitting 127 miles an hour, so he has won the pole heading into tomorrow. He'll be the top racer, and we'll send it back to you guys heading into tomorrow.
Thanks, Ryan. That's right. That means that Chase Elliott, last year's winner, is on the pole, the gold bowling at the Glen race tomorrow, Sunday at 3:18 on NBC Sports Network.
That's right. And we want to thank everyone for joining us for our live special, Thunder at the Glen. We hope you have a great...
Thank you for watching the Williams Toyota of Elmira Thunder at the Glen. Brought to you in part by Tom South Corning Collision, Horseheads Pick Apart, and Pearson Seamless Gutters. This has been a WENY special presentation.